Our next rouletter is finally going to tell us what the bunnies do. Please welcome Hope Ruiz. All right.
Doing what bunnies do. Santa brought bunnies to our house this year. I'm not sure why I thought this was a good idea, seeing as I'm already an overwhelmed single mom who has chosen to teach teenagers full-time. But when I went to see a dear friend of mine who lives off the grid outside of Bastrop in a little mini house he built surrounded by chickens, goats, bunnies, horses, and God knows what else, his daughter placed a bunny in my hands, and I held her for almost an hour. I can't explain it, we melded. She cuddled close and warm under my chin, and as I stroked her, my heartbeat slowed to a calm whisper. Since I've recently pledged to ask my heart for advice rather than my head, she and two of her siblings were under our tree this Christmas. It's been a scary transition, this move away from always holding my cards so close to my chest, habitually checking for sharp edges, electrical sockets, and passing cars. After losing my first baby and fighting for my family's unity for 6 out of my 15 years of marriage, clinging to something rather than risking the free fall has always seemed safer. But after watching my marriage slowly dissolve in that death grip of fear, I now realize risking the unknown is the only way to stay alive. We do it every day when we open our eyes. Every inhale and exhale of air out of our lungs. We have to let go of the old to suck in the new. We just don't always acknowledge this ritual, often choose to numb ourselves out with routine, work, drink, or just good old emotional drama. So as I found myself stepping off that ledge once again, it hit me, that old fear. Bringing new life into our home also meant the risk of loss. Like the heart-wrenching cries of my children as we sat holding their dying guinea pig a few years ago, the raw pain in their voices as they begged, "Please, Canella, don't go." Or the numbness I felt as I coughed out my stillborn child in a cold hospital room in Oaxaca, Mexico. Or signing the divorce papers that ended the hope of dreams I'd carried inside of me from ever being born. But there's also fear every time I stand up on the stage and open my mouth to speak. The first time I played Stand By Me at 1-to-1 after signing up to finally learn guitar in my 40s, or the jitters I got backstage as I was about to be in my first play at Frontera Fest a few weeks ago. Amazingly, it was my daughter who looked me in the eye and said, "You got this, Mommy." And I do. Because I finally started to realize it's not about avoiding the pain. It's about opening myself up to life. With all its risks, humiliations, and disappointments, there's also cute little bunnies curled up on your chest as you sit watching Merlin on a school night. You see, when I took off my wedding ring for the last time, I took off more than a marriage. I discarded the safety that comes with any label. I no longer want anything wrapped around me that might keep me from changing and growing, no matter how comfortable it is. I need a skin that grows with me. So we have bunnies. Recently, my kids and I each had our bunnies clutched to our chest as we binge-watched Stranger Things, our new favorite TV show. And I found myself slowing down my breathing to calm the bunny from the frenetic pace of the plot. But then realized I couldn't tell who was calming whom. I smiled as I watched my daughter lovingly cover the bunny's ears during scary scenes, and thought how we sometimes let our emotions play us like instruments. The body follows their lead, yet we can also work it backwards, calming our body to remind our emotions it's just a show we're choosing to watch. Agency. I've come to find it always comes back to that. The other day, the bunny scratched my daughter pretty bad while she was trying to pick it up. I sat at a distance as she started to cry, but I didn't jump up to save her. As I saw the tears burst from behind her lashes, I merely asked, "What do you need?" It's so simple, reminding each other of our own strength. A tall New Yorker friend of mine you might know reminded me recently, you got this. And another friend at the gym gave me a bracelet with the same words inscribed in silver. And I've watched my Toltec shaman teacher do something very similar countless times as people break into devastating tears when they confront terrible pain in their life. No fear in her voice, no rush to comfort. She just holds space until the woman can own her journey and continue calmly walking down its path. It's amazing the difference it makes when someone believes in you. So I'm learning to walk through life with eyes and heart wide open. Courage isn't about not being afraid, but about being afraid and doing it anyway. Mm-hmm. And love isn't about knowing the answers, paper signed and life insurance filed away. It isn't owning someone like property till death do us part. So now when I wake up in the middle of the night or my heart races as I hit my alarm in the morning and feel the familiar tug and anxiety in my gut, mind sprinting through the endless list of things to check off for the day, suddenly fearful of all the ways things could go wrong. When I feel that familiar empty hole pulsing out from my center, that fear of losing love or worse, never finding it, I remind myself that that is not love. And if I accomplish nothing else on this earth, let me love. So I place one hand on my heart and the other on my belly, and I start with me. Mm-hmm. Then I send it to my children, my mom, my friends who walk through fire with me, and then to even those who don't. Because I want to move from a place of connection, not rejection. I want to sink my teeth into each moment like a lover's nibble, tongue searching the moist insides of now. Melt into my senses, what it feels like, sounds like, tastes like, to be me, fully inhabiting my own story, looking out of these eyes. Because everything else is just shadows on a wall, passive-aggressively manipulating people to prove that they love us. And I've had enough of that in my life. So I keep stripping, peeling, layer after layer, inching out on that ledge and calming my bunny instincts like the rushing hot blood in my veins, telling me to run to safety, curl up, blend into the background, and close my mouth. But here I am, still standing, adjusting to the tingling sensation in my fingertips, a heightened sensitivity and the inherent risk it requires, rewiring myself. And here I am with 3 rabbits and 8 new baby bunnies. Who are now slowly taking over our house. The babies have learned to pop through the bars of their cage, so we have to be careful for the fluffy bundle sniffing at our feet. The other mama bunny lost her first 4, and we had a solemn funeral in the backyard. We've had candid talks about sex, and my kids now casually check the babies to see if they're a girl or a boy. The first time Tabbers, the boy bunny, tried to mount the mama bunny, she ran away and my kids scolded him, "Tabbers, she's not ready." And when she didn't run, but let him mount her, my daughter asked, "Mommy, she's grunting. Do you think that means she likes it?" And one time, my son exclaimed, concerned, "Mommy, he's doing it on her face." And I blurted out, "Well, at least they won't have any more babies." But my favorite was when we were discussing getting the boy bunny neutered after the first litter, and my son cut me off when I said we'd get him fixed. "Mommy, there's nothing wrong with him." And I promised to wipe that terminology from my vocabulary in the future. Thank you, bunnies. You have grounded us and thrown us into the chaos that it means to be alive. No answers, no guarantees, just alive for the moment and savoring every single drop of it.